Wrestling with Comedy. I am your host, the Real Deal Joel Davis. Welcome to episode number 43. We welcome you in. We're live streaming here every Tuesday night and every Thursday night. Tonight's show is a very special show. It's not only bringing in a multi-champion professional wrestler and powerlifting competition champion, but also a reunion. My former tag team partner and champion in the UCW back in 2002. Before we get to this special guest, as he puts the 35 pounds of gold on his shoulder, he's here tonight. We're going to give him the proper introduction. Before we introduce our guest people, we're going to talk about big news with Keeping It Real Comedy real quick, and then we're going to address a situation. Keeping It Real Comedy is a live promotion that runs 21-plus shows and also all ages shows. I am your promoter, the Real Deal Joel Davis, and the host of Keeping It Real Comedy podcast. Here are multiple color 5x7 glossy promos. Keeping It Real Comedy as the promoter with decades of experience. That would be me, with our DJ Robbie Janinsky, Robbie Fresh, and great comedians from New York City, Texas, New England, and New Jersey, and basically all around, including California. And these are being given out pedal to the metal. We have some people that are on board throughout the state of Rhode Island and in North Shore and South Shore of Massachusetts. So just get ready for Keeping It Real Comedy to come back with a big bang. And now I'd like to address a situation that is brought to my attention. And, you know, I let it go. I turned a blind eye to it, so to speak, once, twice, 3 different times. But let me explain something to everyone here tonight. And, you know, hundreds of people will watch the replay here. Hundreds of people will catch this. And many people are watching us live now. And I just want to explain something real quick and get to our very special guest. I am the Real Deal Joel Davis. I've been the Real Deal since 1991. That's 35 years ago. They introduced me as the Real Deal, IWCCW. That's 35 years. My bro right there shaking his head. Yes, he knows. I've been the Real Deal since 1991. There's the Real Deal Joel Davis in professional wrestling and the Real Deal Evander Holyfield in boxing. And that's it. There's been some others that have come in. That one guy, I don't even remember his name. He said he didn't know who I was, and he ended up using my name. But 15 years after I was already into my career, I don't know who he is. Doesn't matter who he is. But he tried to use my name. It's like Nature Boy Buddy Landell trying to be Nature Boy RicFlair. But that's not the issue now. The issue now is stand-up comedy. It's come to my attention that there's a comedian out in Austin, Texas, that's being called the Real Deal. Let me tell you something, brother. Let's get this shit straight. I'm the Real Deal. I've been the Real Deal in stand-up comedy for the last 4 years and in professional wrestling and MMA for 35 years. That's right. And you can see the Bionic Bidondi nodding his head yes. And people, let's realize 35 years with the name The Real Deal, and that's a long time, baby. I've been the Real Deal in the ring, in the cage, on the comedy stage, and in my real life. It took me a long time to get that name. So straighten it up. And you people that are having your hallucinating dreams and making believe you're somebody you're not, get your shit straight, because it's the Real Deal Joel Davis. There's only one. And now, our special guest. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you tonight on Wrestling with Comedy, the man himself. He's Bionic Dan Bidondi. He's also been known as the Beast, Dan Bidondi. He's a 39-time champion in professional wrestling. Recently in Chicago, Illinois, on June 11, 2026, he took the second place in the powerlifting competition, the USAPL Master Nationals. He took second place. That is huge. The man is here. He's still in the limelight. He is well known. He's been well known since the 90s in sports. He's a legit collegial and amateur Greco style wrestler, and also, again, like I said, multiple, close to 40 times held the championships. Right now, he's currently the New England IWF heavyweight champion. You see the championship belt on his shoulder. He's also tag team champions in the IWF. He's Bionic. Beast, Dan Bidondi, now currently working with Showcase Pro Wrestling and other organizations across the country. He's been there, done that, like I like to say. Let's welcome my brother. Welcome to the show, Wrestling with Comedy.
What is up, Joel? We are live. That's right. And there's only one real deal, and you're looking at him right there. The man in the black shirt with the microphone, the best in the business. So that's the real deal, Joel Davis. There's no other, plain and simple. So, yeah, me and you go way back, brother. We were tag teams of Real Americans, and, we had a great run in our career. And, fortunately for mine, it's still continuing right now. And every day is a blessing. You know what I mean? Every day is a blessing, just like every time you step on stage behind that microphone, it's a blessing for both of us. And so, yeah, I love you, brother. Thanks for bringing me on.
I love you too, man. And Dan Bidondi hasn't changed. I go back with Dan to actually way back in the 1990s when we were on the same side of the ring as tag team champions. We tagged up in all different areas and all the different through New Hampshire and also Connecticut and Massachusetts. And we also battled for the junior heavyweight championship belt time and time again. But I'll tell you what, Dan Bidondi again showing that he's not selfish. He never has been. He's been one of the biggest gentleman that you can ever imagine. Such a pro. And I'm not just saying that. I keep it real, folks. I'm telling you the way it is. And like Dan said, he's still at it. He is still at it. He's stronger and he's better than ever. We got somebody saying here, he's saying the All-American deal's in the house. What's up, guys? We got another day, another dollar. I won't see. I don't know what that one means. But we got some people here tuning in. And you're talking about history, people. You're talking about the UCW Tag Team Champions. Dan Bidondi and I held that championship. We won it in Braintree, Massachusetts for Universal Championship Wrestling. That was 2002. That was 24 years ago, brother. Let's talk about that. Remember that rush getting the championship together for the first time?
Yeah, that was amazing. I think it was Anthony Rufo. He's like, you guys would make a good tag because we had similar get-ups, like, the All-American thing. You had the American flag, too. And it's like, let's put, Anthony was like, let's put you guys together. And then we became a very successful tag team. And by the way, hello and love you back to your mom in the chat room, Teresa.
Yes, that's right. And Dan's acknowledging all the fans because let's be honest, she's been a fan of yours from way back. I mean, it's not easy. I want the people to understand if you're a pro wrestling fan or a fan of powerlifting competition or anything like that, any kind of sport, especially professional wrestling in general, it takes its toll on the body. You can look at Dan. He's taking care of himself. He never abused drugs or alcohol. He was always a pro. You never had a problem if you were working with Dan Bidondi. And he's been like that from day one, and that's why we're so happy to have him here tonight on Wrestling with Comedy podcast. Dan, let's talk about it. Where were you born and where are you living now?
I'm still in Rhode Island. I mean, I moved here and there over the years, but I was born in Providence, and right now I live in Cranston, Rhode Island. And it's like always come back to Rhode Island. I don't know why, but.
So you're in Cranston, Rhode Island right now. I know you're introduced from Central Falls, Rhode Island for a while, but you are in Cranston, Rhode Island right now, so you're in Rhode Island.
Yep.
And you were you were like a legit wrestler, like a collegial high school wrestler,
champion, yep.
State champion. You came in as a state champion. I mean, you've been a champion your whole life, Dan. It's just, it's incredible. And, and to be still in the limelight. And I remember talking to you about, it was close to 2 years ago, and you talked about this. You were in the gym putting so much time into it. People don't realize just to get in the gym and do a regular workout is tough. Never mind to be in competition. Dan, let's talk about it, your competition and winning that big USAPL Master Nationals. Second place is right there at the top in Chicago, Illinois. And you got another big championship coming up. Let's talk about this now. What do you weigh right now, and what's your maximum bench press? And let me explain something real quick. Not that I'm a pro. I know maybe 10% of what you know about lifting weights, but I do know if you can lift your body weight on a free weight bar, solid bar with no hooks, if you can lift your body weight, you are considered fit. If you lift over your body weight, you are considered athletic. Is that correct?
Yep.
You're an athlete.
Oh yeah, and if you do at least double you're considered elite. So back in February, I won my first pro powerlifting championship. It was to qualify for the Nationals. That was a 2026 Cold Heart Classic that's held in February in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. So I won that, and my numbers qualified for the U.S. Nationals. And off to the Nationals I went in June. It was so exciting. My first year powerlifting, here I am on a national freaking stage, man, competing with the best in the country, man. And it was a blessing just to be there. And when I got second place, I was like, wow. Yep. You know what I mean? And I ended up finishing, my bench press was 424 pounds.
Whoa! 424 pounds? Wow, a bench press. Are you shitting me? Some guys go to the gym for 10 years and they don't bench 424 total their whole lifetime, you know? Bro, what do you weigh right now? What do you weigh?
About 318, 319.
Wow, that's freaking massive, bro. And you look healthy, though, bro. You look solid. Now, if you don't mind me asking, because I'm a podcast, I have to ask these questions. Are you using any enhancement drugs or anything now?
No, the USAPL, the United States Athletic Powerlifting, whatever it's called, they're complete drug-free, and they do random drug tests. So the only things I take is a creatine, a vitamin, say your prayers, and all that good stuff, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just the natural stuff. And, when stay healthy. I do a lot of therapeutics, so if I get sore, I'll use heat therapy, the massage gun, the TENS unit, things like that, and just stay loose, whatever. But powerlifting it's very challenging. It's like every day. The biggest opponent you have is that guy in the mirror. You know what I mean? Most of it's a mental game too, but it's like you're lifting more stuff than most people in the gym goers. You're like literally the top 1% of gym goers, let alone the average public out there. And it's like you don't realize until it hits in when you're standing on a podium, especially the second place medal in the whole country. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wow, I could do better. You know what I mean? So I'm going to the regionals coming up in October. It's the Northeast Regionals, and I'm the favorite to win that. And, of course, I'm favorite to win the state championship in December. Then back again in February is the 2027 Cold Hearts Classic. And the states in Cold Hearts is both going to be held in Pawtucket, Rhode Island again. So if anybody in Rhode Island wants to come out and see me compete. But, yeah, next year is looking very promising for the Nationals and perhaps maybe a trip to the World Championship. So my goal is to win a World Championship for powerlifting, and I'm so excited. And it's my first year, you know.
Well, it's incredible, Dan. I don't know how you done it. Like I said, you and I are brothers. We go back to the 90s. And again, we talked about it. We held the UCW Tag Team Championship back 24 years ago. But we go back even longer than that in the King of Sports in the Squared Circle. And, I know when I wake up in the morning, 9 out of 10 mornings, I'm feeling some of those bumps and bruises. I mean, you must be feeling it too, man. I mean, and how do you do it? How do you keep, you get the right rest, you eat right? I mean, just to listeners that want to maybe get into championship powerlifting, maybe what would you suggest? And again, you're still a professional wrestler. How the hell are you doing it, brother?
I don't know, man.
Are you just you're blessed? Yeah. Some days you hurt when you get up, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you get up, and especially after competition, because it's all go, And when you wake up, you're like, oh man. But you know what? And those days I get up like that, I'm like, you know what? I remember this saying from the Ultimate Warrior. I listened to his motivation videos, and he was like, you get up, you sit at the end of your bed, look at the day, and say, bring it freaking on. You know what I mean? To the life out there that's going to hit you hard, bring it on. You know what I mean? Right from when you wake up in that morning, you get off that bed, say, bring it on. You take the day for what it comes, and conquer that day. You know what I mean? And no matter how tired you might be, how stressed you might be, you got the stress of life, work, family, and everything else. And you just got to face it every day. It's like, I'm going to conquer this day, and having that positive attitude, and especially the faith in Jesus Christ, man. I'm out there every day as a warrior.
Yeah, man, and like you said, Jesus Christ has a lot to do with it. There's no power that's higher than the power to God Almighty. And amen. And I will say, you know what, we got, just so you know, if you're just joining us, the numbers just keep on going up. We have Dan the Beast Bidondi. He's also now known as Bionic Bidondi. He is a legit athlete. He's a professional wrestler still. He's decades in professional wrestling. USAPL Masters Nationals, second place out there in Chicago, Illinois, back June 11 of 2026 this year. He is not playing. He's playing for real. And you talked about, the aching and the soreness and the muscles and all that pain that you deal with in the competition, but also in the pro wrestling ring. I mean, man, we got a picture right here. I got to show it. There's a picture of you're holding the shoulders back of a pro wrestler named Travis Funk, and I'm calling it, and it's a tag team, and I'm throwing the sidekick made famous by Shawn Michaels, and it landed right in his mouth, right in his face. You remember that? You remember that kick to the face, bro? Tell the people about the kick to the face.
Oh yeah, that was vicious, man. almost knocked his jaw right out. It was great.
That's right. It was great. I mean, and there you go. Like I said, if you just joined us, episode 43, Wrestle with Comedy, Dan the Beast, Dan Bidondi. He's known as the Beast. He's known as Bionic. He's a 39-time champion. I mean, he's a powerlifting champion, pro wrestling champion. I mean, talk about somebody like we said, blessed. This man is blessed. He's still at it, and I'm proud to say that I held the tag team championship with him, and no one can ever take that away from us. And a lot of us brothers have passed away, unfortunately, and I'm glad that we can still do this. And in a sense, we're working together tonight after all these years, brother. What a crazy life it's been. Dan, I got to ask you. I got to ask you. This is a hilarious story. I got this information from a good source, and as a podcaster, you know, because you're a podcaster yourself, brother, I have to ask you. I got this information, and I want to know your story. Can you take us through it? It was years and years and years ago. You were on the road driving. There was a U-Haul truck. Driving the U-Haul truck was Mr. Biggs, your real-life cousin. In the middle of the front seat was New England Pro Wrestling promoter Joe Bruin, and on the other side was Mr. Biggs' wife. In the back of the truck was you were in the back of the truck, where you don't belong, with the mother and father of Mr. Biggs. You're going up a hill, and the truck stalls, and you're stuck. Can you tell me about it, brother? I can see you laughing. I mean, it's hilarious.
Me and Joe, we were just crying because it was so funny. Me and Joe was in the front with Mike.
Oh, you were in the front. You were in the front. Oh.
Yeah. So everybody else is in the back, and so Mike tries to go up this hill. It's like a steep hill. Mind you, it's a big ass U-Haul, right?
Now, Mike's Mr.
U-Haul gets stuck, like the wheels off the ground because of the hill in the road.
Oh shit!
And, so Mr. Biggs is screaming, he's banging. He goes, "Oh, I got into a car accident and my legs broke and all that." And his mother and father freaking out because they thought it was a big car accident, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Laughing our asses off. And
now, when you say Mike, is that Mr. Biggs or was that somebody else?
Yeah, Mr. Biggs, yep.
His first name was Mike. God rest his soul. Yeah. Rest in peace, Mr. Biggs. Another great pro wrestler. He could move. For a big guy, he could move, and he had a lot of charisma. I remember Mr. Biggs. A great indie star. God rest his soul, Mr. Biggs. Your real-life cousin, I take it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our mothers and sisters.
But was there any truth that you were stuck on the hill with people in the back of the U-Haul, or was that exaggeration?
Oh, no, that was real, because he tried to go up the steep hill in the U-Haul. Well, literally, it was like too long to do it. So he tried to gas it up the hill, and the U-Haul got stuck. We had to get a tow truck to pull us out.
I heard Joe Bruin was terrified. Joe Bruin was scared shit.
Oh man, that poor kid. I love Joe, man. Like I don't know how he survived.
I don't know how he survived. I heard he still has trauma. He probably has trauma from that still. Joe Bruin, one of the mainstays in New England Pro Wrestling and the New England Fan Fest, a real pro from the word go. And that's just one hilarious story. There's so many stories that we could talk about.
There's so many more, man. With Mr. Biggs, man. God rest his soul.
Well,
but man.
Well, actually, I got that here that I wanted to ask you. Can you give us one real funny road story beside the U-Haul incident? Just one.
Oh man, so many but disgusting stories. So we're all at Bickford's. We did a show somewhere, and all of us went to Bickford's because they're open all night after the show. It was me, Anthony, the whole crew, Gino Martino. There's about 20 of us wrestlers and all that. And
Anthony Rufo and Gino Martino.
Yep. And so Mike and Anthony would go to the bathroom, right? And Anthony comes running out like almost puking. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And he goes, Biggs is taking a shit in the sink.
Oh.
I guess he couldn't fit in the stall, so he's literally shitting in the sink and wiping his ass with his hands. And everything.
My Lord.
It was the most disgusting thing you ever seen in your life. Man.
Oh, my. That sounds like a shitty situation.
Oh, yeah. It was many stories like that. And
man.
when he broke this toilet off the Target, you know, the Target toilets are on the wall?
Yeah.
The toilet just breaks, comes off the wall.
So your cousin, Mr. Biggs, former indie pro wrestler, he had broke the stall, he had sat on it and it broke right off. And these are real life stories, people that are tuning in. The numbers keep going. Thank you for joining us, Wrestle with Comedy, episode 43. I'm your host, the Real Deal Joel Davis, stand-up comedian, promoter, and podcaster, former pro wrestler, MMA fighter, and motivational speaker. Dan Bidondi's here tonight, and what a show this is. Give us a story, Dan. I know you've been around so many years in professional wrestling. Let's talk about it. Crazed fan stories. The marks getting out of control. What have you seen? Can you give us one story of fans like throwing objects or any kind of fights?
Well, most of the time I've been a baby, so I didn't really have to worry about that too much. And, you know, it's a fan favorite if you don't know what that is.
Babyface, yep.
Yep, and so I didn't really have to deal, but I've seen a lot of crap. I mean, like, especially when people come out and insult our country and all that, and it's just a gimmick, and I mean, and people hate that, especially if you go to the right next. So this one was great, Tiny the Terrible. This was like gold. Okay, we're at the that big racetrack in Connecticut. I forgot who has
Thompson Speedway.
Thompson Speedway, yeah.
Now, Tiny so the people know, Dan, Tiny the Terrible is a midget wrestler, right?
Yep.
Yep,
and a black midget wrestler, right? So now, mind you, we're in a hick town, right? So thank God we were behind the fence where the ring was, where the cars were.
Yep.
So Tiny Terrible comes out and he's like, "You white honky MRFers," you know what I mean? And
whoa,
just egging the crowd on, and people throwing bottles in there trying to climb the fence to go after him. They had to have the state police escort him out of there.
Wow, that's some real heat, brother. Now, he was basically being racist, yelling at the people, and I could see Tiny the Terrible doing that. Now, did he pass away or did his brother pass away? One of them passed away.
I think it's his brother, but yeah, that guy was great on the mic too. I mean, like, I love Tiny; he's awesome.
Yeah, yes, Dan, I got to ask you, and I don't know if this is a rumor, if there's any truth to it. I know you'll tell us, and we're going to get it here first on Wrestling with Comedy podcast. This will be an exclusive. Now, I had heard that professional boxer Butterbean was your biological father.
No, but close. He used to call me his father, son. I mean, King Kong Bundy.
Oh yeah, King Kong Bundy. God rest his soul. He's passed away, unfortunately, too. Yeah,
I used to work with him at a lot of shows. He was friends with Mr. Biggs, my cousin. They talked almost every day, and every time he see me, he called me his son, rubbing my head. It's not shaved today, but.
Yeah, man. You look just like you used to back in the day, man. Incredible. Tell the people a little bit about, you had actually met Hulk Hogan, former WWF and WCW champion, God rest his soul, the late Hulk Hogan. You had met him. Tell us about meeting Hulk Hogan.
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, at first, you always worried about meeting your idol growing up and everything else. And he was just the most genuine person ever. First thing I did to him, I went up to him and said, "Brother, I want to congratulate you on your conversion to Christ." He looks me dead in the eyes. He goes, "You a believer too?" I'm like, "Absolutely, Jesus, my Savior." He gives me this big hug. He goes, "That makes us brothers in Christ." That really touched me, you know what I mean?
I bet.
And I said, "Thank you for your inspiration of me becoming a pro wrestler myself," and all that. We had a little talk not long, and but it was great to get the double arm pose with him and everything. If I could pull the picture up real quick, yeah. But it was just amazing, really was.
Yes,
to be able to meet him and talk to him, and what a real person he is. And I guess he was late for all his meetings because he wanted to reach out to all the fans, and he didn't care about times. Things or anything like that. Let me get to my picture, yeah.
Yeah, the picture's on the promo on Instagram too, Dan, just so you know, for tonight's podcast. Okay. So if you want to play that, it's right. Yeah, there it is. Dan Bidondi, he's with us. Bionic Dan Bidondi's right there, and on the left of the screen, you see the late great Hulk Hogan. So Dan has been around some of the greats all around. Dan, growing up, was Hogan one pro wrestler that inspired you? Did you have anybody that inspired you to get into professional wrestling? And what year did you debut? Let's talk about that. The year you debuted in pro wrestling.
May 13th, 1994. May 13th, 1994 was my first match. And I think it was a battle royal, whatever the case. And so
for who?
First match, it was for Yankee Pro Wrestling. It was my first singles match in a battle royal that got me into wrestling and all that. And remember when I was a kid, I think I was 10 years old, and I was the Saturday night's main event. The very match that Hulk Hogan beat the Iron Sheik for the world title.
Wow.
And so I couldn't sleep. My mother turns the TV on, usually it's Saturday Night Live at the time. And I seen this. I'm like, wow, I seen Hogan come out to the ring. I had no clue what we were watching. And I was sold. I'm like, wow, I was sold. This is what I want to be when I get older. You know what I mean? And my mother, instant Hulkamaniac too, you know? I wish my mother was alive to meet him as well. But, man, it was like such a blessing to meet him. And it's, a few weeks before he ended up passing away, which was sad, you know, coming up, I think, on the 24th next week. But man, it's, what a blessing it was to meet him.
You got some of your fans on here tonight, Dan. I wanted to relay this message. Episode 43, Wrestling with Comedy. I'm your host, the Real Deal Joel Davis. Dan the Beast Bidondi's with us tonight. He's also known as Bionic. He is a powerlifting champion. He had just won the second place in the USAPL Master Nationals in Chicago, Illinois. He's here tonight live with us. You got a fan asking, they remembered watching you back in the day with UCW. Apparently you were outside the ring as, like you said, a babyface, and you were chasing a heel manager by the name of Steak Daddy with a cane. Do you remember that?
Yep. Steak Daddy P2B. You know what I mean? That was awesome. Yeah, Steak Daddy, he's cool. He watches our showcase pods now and everything. But yeah, good guy, man. And I remember when he was a heel. Yeah, I think we wrestled. Actually, he did a wrestling match against his team, and so yeah, I was out there chasing because he tried to interfere with the cane.
Yes. Yeah, we so many stories, so many memories. People, you're joining us here, Wrestling with Comedy. You got the former UCW Tag Team Champions here tonight. Dan and I held the championship way back in 2002. We won those in Braintree, Massachusetts at the Moose Lodge, and then we ended up losing to the team of Punisher Don Vega and Chris Blackheart. Dan, we got something on the show called Dealing the Names. I got 5 names, throwing them at you. You have no idea what the names are. Can you give us one statement, brother, or one word on each name? The first name on your list, my brother, is John Callahan.
John, outstanding gentleman. I love John. I talk to him all the time. I can get knowledge from him. He's been one of the legends of professional wrestling.
Beautiful. The second name on Dealing the Names with Bionic Dan Bidondi is the late, great Ernie the Cat Ladd.
I never really talked to him, so I mean, like the things what I known about him, he was a pretty good guy.
Yeah, he also played for the San Diego Chargers before he got into professional wrestling. The third name on Dealing the Names, the late, great, he was called Ali Muhammad, Anthony Ruffo.
He advanced my career because I was just the All-American Dan Bidondi. Him and Gino Martino, they literally took interest in me, retrained me, everything else. And Bionic Dan Bidondi is always from Anthony Ruffo and Gino Martino, by the way. Yep, they're the ones who created that gimmick and ran with the sense and it fits. And Anthony was, I couldn't even tell you how much of a brother he was. He was a brother from another mother. And I love Anthony, and God bless his soul.
You know what, bro? I'd have to say he's one of the only, and I can count on one hand, one of the only pro wrestlers that no one has anything negative to say about. I loved Anthony, too. I say it, too. I remember Anthony going to when I had the sports card shop. He had a suitcase. He had it on wheels with a bunch of basketball cards, and Anthony rolled them in. He wanted to sell his basketball cards, and I remember getting into MMA, and he was so supportive, and he was telling me, he said, Joel, keep on going with it, and he was such a pro, and I just remember seeing the big smile on his face. I always smile on Anthony Ruffo, the Trouble Man. Also a great tag team with the Extreme Strongman Gino Martino. They were the Millennium Killers. What a team it was. The number 4 name on Dealing the Names with Dan Bionic Bidondi here live is James Allen, also known as Trooper Gilmore.
Yeah, I love Jimmy. I went to school with him. Me and him went to Jimmy.
Really? I didn't know that. You're the same age? Same age?
Yeah, right about. I think he's younger than me, but I love Jimmy, and we had our ups and downs like brothers usually do, but over the years and everything. But he ran literally like back in the day when he ran. Well, he's still running now on NWE Extreme, and the shows are the best. I mean, he had the biggest and baddest wrestlers in New England on the shows. You know what I mean? I haven't seen the shows lately, but you know what I mean. He's still running. You know what I mean? And he puts a lot of effort into his company, and I can't say nothing bad about the man. Yeah, he's like a brother too. You know.
Right on, bro. And number 5, the last name on Dealing the Names with our guest tonight, Dan Bidondi, is one half of the Eliminators, Perry Satin.
Perry, as far as I only got to talk to him a few times, but always a good man. I mean, he was like straightforward, good man, and I actually stole one of his the Rings of Saturn for a while. I stole his finisher for a while, but yeah, good guy, and as far as I got to talk to him and everything else, very respectful person.
Yes. He was a legit athlete. I came up with Killer Kowalski's school with him. Him and I were back in 1991 together. And then you got here, Dan, you haven't changed. You're still a gentleman and a sweetheart. God bless you and your family always. We got coming in here for you. Dan, let's talk about this. We got about 5 minutes left. Any more comments or we got comments and questions? The numbers keep going up and down here. We appreciate you joining us live on Wrestle with Comedy. Here's your chance to talk to him live right now. He's a multiple champion, 39-time champion of professional wrestling. He's a powerlifting champion. He's a podcaster. He's done so much in this journey in life. Dan, let's ask you this question. And I know you might have seen something because you've seen a lot, and the people love to know about this on the podcast. What kind of dressing room shoot fights have you seen?
Just people talk crap. I mean, like I remember So we had some guys up from New York. They were running their mouths, and Don Vega put him in his place real quick. It was funny. Don goes like, "F you, this ain't New York," and Don like almost knocked him out. You know what I mean? So Don Vega, you gotta love the guy because the guy's a straight up. I mean, one of the guys you don't want to mess with on a personal level. You know what I mean? But yeah, that and just other kinds of fights over stupid things too. You know what I mean? And it's most of the time it is over stupid shit. You know?
Yeah, sometimes it's egos. 99% of the time, or 95% of the time, there's not going to be much heat in the locker room. But there have been some brawls back there. I've seen a few myself, and like you said, Don Vega is a gentleman, but you don't want to piss the guy off. And so that was some New York workers came in. What year was that?
Oh, that was back early 2000s.
Back in 2000s. Yeah, Dan, you got a lot coming up. I know you do. You got the competitions coming up. You're with the AIWF right now, the Professional Wrestling Organization. Talk about it. Let the people know. We got about 4 minutes. Talk about it. Put yourself over, my brother. What do you got coming up?
AIWF, they just launched a New England division again, and I was crowned their inaugural New England heavyweight champion and also tag team champion with Christopher Nino, the Mad Russian there. And so it was looking pretty good, you know what I mean? And I'm excited. And I'm not jumping too much into wrestling because I was working for these feds. I'm just taking it slow because of the powerlifting. And the championships we got coming up, we got 3 within October, December, and February. And there's a lot of work to be put in. I already own 10 Rhode Island State records and smashed those.
Wow.
And 4 New England regional records in the powerlifting. So, and again, my first year is a blessing. And there's a lot of, there's nothing but up right now because my bench press is going up. All my deadlifts, the squats are going up, and I have a lot more in the tank. And I'm just staying healthy by the blessings of God. My strength comes from the Lord. The Lord is my strength, you know. And I'm hoping next year I can actually win the U.S. Nationals. I'm sorry. And again, my goal is to become a world champion powerlifter.
Yeah, man, and with the way you believe in the good Lord, you pray, you're married, you got a great husband, you have a son, you're a great dad, and you're living a life straight and narrow. Like you said, you're still in professional wrestling, but you're backing off just a little bit because you got your focus on the powerlifting competitions and winning some more championships. And let me tell you something, brother, for you to be doing all that, that's really a great inspiration for all our viewers here tonight live, and that will catch us on the replay. It's Wrestling with Comedy. Bionic, and also known as the Beast, Dan Bidondi is here tonight. I'm going to throw a statement at you, Dan. This is part of the segment here, and you just finish it, okay? Here we go. In professional wrestling, I really didn't expect...
Oops, still there?
Yes, in professional wrestling, I really didn't expect...
Oh, I'm sorry. And just like to be, this long of a career going on 32 years, coming up in May of next year will be 32 years in professional wrestling. And just like I'm enjoying every time. Every time I lace up those boots, it's a blessing. Because I've seen so many people get hurt, killed. How many people you say get killed in the business, literally?
That's right.
Heart attacks, all kinds of stuff. And so it's just a blessing every time we can lace up those boots. And I want to commend you, brother, too. That I never really got to do this in public here, but you going to MMA, I was so proud of you, brother. And like everything you've seeked out to do, you did. You went into that cage. You went on that, be a stand-up comedian. It's probably most of the hardest thing you could probably do to entertain a crowd like that. You were up there in New York. You're all over the country, brother. I am so proud of you, man. And everything you do now, your talk shows. You are the real deal.
Oh, man. I really appreciate that, bro. That really was a great thing for you to say. I really appreciate it, and it makes it great, especially when life is tough, to hear something like that from you, Dan. Thank you. It's Dan Bidondi. It's Dan Bidondi. He's the Beast, Dan Bidondi. Outside of the ring, he's a perfect gentleman. He's a husband to his wife. He's a father to his son. He's the Beast, and he's also bionic. He's a 39-time champion. Dan Bidondi, I love you, brother. You keep it going. He's got the gold right there. All the respect and love to you, bro. You keep going, man. It's Dan Bidondi.
Love you too, brother.
And it was Wrestling with Comedy. Bro, we're still doing what we love. And until next time, folks, keep it real at all costs. Good night, everybody.